What is going on, boys? It's your man Vinny Keys. I'm going to be doing a UOHL Olympic rosters review. I'll show you guys how to get to the rosters because a lot of guys seem to be messaging Yippee in the chat box that, just sign on today or yesterday or whatever the case is to find out if they got drafted. So this will just give you a quick little rundown how to do that. And then obviously the UOHL Olympic rosters. So you see here, you go to UOHL Google Doc on the UOHL website or just go to UOHL.net first and go to the UOHL Google Docs on the top. And then you can see here, you just go down to the bottom here of the bottom bar here where it gives you a bunch of options. You click on Olympic rosters. You can check out Olympic signups and see where exactly you got drafted, or you can just go to the Olympic rosters and see what team you got drafted to. We're going to jump in and see the first three teams here. We got Snoopy's Team Canada with Mr. Lundqvist as his GM. We got Hands of God, T. Jenks, Foot A, Audacity 81, Flyers 2844, Yippee Kaye, the commissioner of the league, Chanderson 773, It's Too Legit, Dark, and Weagle. Then we got Dolph Weens, Team Russia with Stamtos as his GM, Gergs 28, Backlund 22, Havoc, Dirt Racer, Sved, Viveros, Buddy Roberts, Thug CTC, Capper, great goalie from Edmonton, Kanji 9R, and then we got BS Ditka's Team Germany with Chislett 19 as his GM, a returning GM from a previous year. You got Lupul 19, AT43, Replay Chris, Hones Rule, Devil's Knight, Mr. Lolistic, Tugboat, King Horton, S2S Shocks, and Andro. Should be a pretty decent first couple of teams there, boys. I said, you know what, we had some exhibition games last night against Team Italy. I went pretty well. Team Canada was running some games also against Team Italy. We're going to be running games against Germany tonight. A couple teams are going to be running games against Germany tonight. It seems everyone's starting to get a little bit more excited for the Olympics now that it's right around the corner. Everyone seemed like they were off the boat, you know what I mean, for UOHL. Like, oh, I haven't played in so long. I'm not playing anymore. I haven't played since the playoffs ended. You know what I mean? I know it's frustrating you got knocked out. I felt the same way when we got knocked out of the playoffs. I didn't want to play for a little while. But we took about a week or so off for, maybe a little bit more. And then we started to come back and been playing a little bit more. As the playoffs, as the Olympics have been coming around the corner, we're trying to get some guys together to play some practice games and whatnot. Like I said, we played Team Italy last night. It was pretty good. I'll post some highlights of that for you guys. I posted some pictures on Twitter. If you guys check that out, at Vinny Keys 19, you can see the score of that, or you guys can see stuff that's happening, live and up to date instead of have to wait for the video. But if you guys like the video, that's great too. We're going to be jumping into the next three teams here in just a couple seconds. I just wanted to talk about, like I said, these guys. I might give my opinions throughout as we go through, but like I said, some of the guys that we're going to take and some of the stuff that happened throughout the draft, like I said, there were some guys that we were about to take that we had to change our position on, but it actually might end up benefiting us in the long run. But we'll get to our roster in a couple seconds here, or in a couple minutes. We're just going to talk about Team Italy, Team USA, and Great Britain. We got Brandon Bermanti, a great owner we got here with Violet Midget as his general manager. We had this guy Haxby, who was actually one guy everyone was trying to get us to take, or everyone thought we should have taken with our second overall pick. We were going in a little bit of a different direction, which is why we didn't want to take just a guy that was focused on forward. We wanted a more versatile player for this type of situation. Not that Haxby's not one of the best, if not the best player in the game. I haven't played a lot with him, so I can't really tell you firsthand, but they said he comes with a lot of highly recommendations from a lot of people. You see next we got Lethal Sniper 007, old Columbus Blue Jacket with my buddy CLC 11, which we'll get into his team next. Jeff Flax 86, Vu Blanc QC, I hope I pronounced that right, maybe I didn't. Kloonball 7, King Kano 62, which is actually a goalie we were looking at in the draft. Hardy 99, Tom Bramanti, which is actually a guy we were about to take. He got taken the pick just before us in the draft. I don't know how it happened, but he got taken just before we were about to take him. We ended up going with someone else. I'll get into that in a couple minutes. Next, Kelly 3, Toon Squad. Next one, we are moving on to CLC 11 and Paul Weck's team. We got here Team Italy. We got King Caddy was their first pick. A little bit weird, but they took a defenseman. AJM 123, sharpshooter, the other half of that Columbus connection. Marty McFly, another great guy. Dangerous JD, Laffy Taffy, Nash 61, Lindbergh, the Young Prodigy, and Mass Assassination, another buddy of ours that actually got married a little while ago. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but like I say, he's coming back to play some hockey, so congrats on you, buddy, and like I said, happy to see you back. Finally here, we got KC97 before we jump into our stuff. KC97 and RTJR. We got Pewis, Rabid Wolverine, Bishes Love Hosa, Hookmare, Al Ryan, Steeler Kid, Sport Fanatic, Joker, Undershot, and Manship. We're going to move on here. As you guys can see, I've already moved down here. We're going to be talking about Team Sweden, Kazakhstan, and my team, Team Finland. We got EG Buff, or EG Buff Sniper with Eller and Marchand. He took those two guys. Those guys are a great connection. I don't know. Sometimes you're able to snag those types of guys. If you're going to the draft with an idea of who you want to take rather than just taking the best players to see, you know what I mean, getting chemistry together right off the bat's a big thing in this because, you know, at least it's a short season. And like I said, those guys played really well together, especially in a couple of the practice games we played before the Olympics. Next, we got Dumba 55, De Kaiser, Legendary, Kidney Bean, Getzlaff 15, another great player that plays well with Eller and Marchand, so it should be interesting to play them. Sweden looks like they have a great top line here, and we also got Nazi 19 and Captain Cowchow. I think Nazi 19 was the owner of Ottawa, I believe, I'm not sure, so it could be another great addition for them. We got Deceased Goblin, another great addition for J.A. Frank and Power Surge on Kazakhstan. Deceased Goblin was their first pick. Splendor 77, Pourquoi, I guess their next one, Vinsanity, another great player, El Pyro, another great player, Insomnius, Lockmyth Monster, Airsoft 37, another guy we were actually thinking about taking. He actually got taken just before us, I think, in the draft. Sizzle and Maverick 19. Finally, we are going to be moving on to Team Finland, the team that I am actually the owner of with my buddy, the Phenom 87. He's been on my team for almost 4 years now, so I decided, like I said, Paul Weck wanted to go be the GM with my buddy, COC 11. So I said, you know what, Steve or Phenom, you can be my GM. So without further ado, we'll just go through a quick run through this. We got Philadelphia 21. He led the league in scoring and in the regular season and in the playoffs. And everyone's saying, oh, he's playing defense, oh, he's playing goalie. You know what, I've talked to the guy, and you know what, I've talked to Sweet Lou, which is also a draft pick of ours, and Bane or Ben, whatever they want him to call us, or whatever they want us to call him. You know what? I figured if I go in there and draft a couple of guys that play together or played together before, and get their opinions on the draft of who they want, and it'll get them excited again. And like I said, I've talked to all of them. These guys are going to play whatever we really need them to play. And like I said, whenever we really, you know, as long as we give them time. Like I said, it's summertime, so everyone's going to be a little bit off. But like I said, we'll get on to the next couple of picks. Amazing X35, Bill Brasky II, Drew Peacock 6969. He kept screwing that name up in the draft. It was pretty funny, but welcome to the team, buddy. MJM 1040, one of the commissioners of the league, which is great, our league official. Wagner, which was a great player in the games we played last night. Sempolix, and my buddy Pit Mulkin 71. He was actually on our Detroit Red Wings team. Like I said, we've already skipped on down to Austria. I just want to get like at least all the guys on our team out there. We'll talk quickly about Morrissey's team and Fournier 35, a great goalie from the league. They picked up Mfrika first, Chivas, and they got Ahern, Authentic VF, Drew Iski, another great pickup, Jakuza Deluza, a pretty funny name, KSP, Absolute VF, Afro-Cuban, I remember him from Carolina, Spyro Rat, another big pickup. He actually plays LG with me and Morrissey on the Hartford Wolfpack. Apparently, he's actually pretty good. I played a couple games with him, but Morrissey actually took dibs on him because no one really knew who he was in UOHL yet. But then we also got next, we got Born in Poland, or Poland's team, Johnny Doom, another one of my buddies from the UOHL radio. True Complexity is his GM. We got Amped, Lights Out, Fat Jesus, Khalifa, Mystery, Crass 8, Druan, Tagnisher, I Am Hitch, and FJN 74. Pretty decent team. These two teams here, actually, Austria and Poland, are pretty decent teams from what I can see over here. We got Evil Destiny 64, Zero Crashes as GM, Carlicious, Tyrant is a great player. I don't know if he's playing goalie or forward, but I think he's playing goalie, as you can see here. We got Big Stick Nick. I saw he had some issues with a disc, but hopefully he gets that worked out so he can play. We got Johnny 97, Oshi 74, which I actually played a couple of Huck games against. Pretty good guy. He's actually on my friends list. Good subscriber there. We got Stock Rates, White Castle 456, Bake Smoke Ninja, which was one guy we were trying to pick up for my buddy, or for Filth and Sweet Lou. They were actually asking me to pick him up. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him in time. He got picked up just before. There was a couple guys that we had to, change our pick to the last second. I think we still ended up with a pretty decent team. And their final guy on their team is J-Smear. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, hopefully, yeah. Anyways, we're going to talk about finally the last two teams, as you guys can see here, Stylas and Wadaman A. The first pick overall in the draft was Matt the Cool Cat. They picked up Flaming Flamingo, King Almighty, A1 Freak, which is actually a Detroit Red Wing for a brief period of time there. Ropey Popey, GM or Janung, GN Jigung, or GN Jung, I'm not really Sure how that's pronounced anyways. But then we got Green Arrow X70, which is actually Doughty from last season. I was actually going to take him. He got taken also. Him and Bramante was really weird. They got taken the pick just before I was about to take. I don't know how it happened or how coincidence that happened, but it happened. Next, they got ML Jesus. You guys might remember him. He plays for Vancouver. Pretty good player. Harm Captain, Cap out. Then we got Kraken finally. And next, we got G-Stats Czech Republic with legendary Red Dog. Their first pick was King Clement, which is a great pick. I think their next pick was a great pick also. Vive, we were actually thinking about taking him. J. Rose, New York, or New York, YKR, Serp 13, Lithuanian Giant, Ekim, Life was, Life as we know it, D-Man, and Peach 22. So, there you got it, boys. You guys got all the rosters. I showed you guys a quick little look at my roster finally. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the quick breakdown. Like I said, it should be a great season. I'm going to be posting up a bunch of, or a couple of preseason games, you know what I mean, or pre-tournament games, so you guys can see that. At least maybe one against Germany, maybe one against Finland, or one against Italy, or something like that. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll post in the chat box and all that stuff. So like I said, we'll talk to you guys soon. We'll talk to you guys in the Olympic tournament when I post up all my highlight reels and all that stuff. And I'll be back with more highlights real soon, boys. It's your man, Vinny Keys. Peace out.